Hey, it's Michael from Trimline. I've got a question for you. How much is your business worth? How much do you think the market is willing to pay for it? And do you think that's the number that lines up in your head? Because often business owners think their business is worth so much money because they put their blood, their sweat, their tears into the thing. But unfortunately, when it comes to purchasing businesses, people don't account for those things. So you need to be able to prove your business's value. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. All right, let's dive in. So this is a challenge for established businesses that have been in the game for a while and are thinking about planning for an exit. Not everyone wants to exit their business. I understand that. But this is for people potentially looking to exit. You need to build real value into your business besides its cash flows. It's only worth what someone's willing to pay at a point in time. That value can go up or down depending on the timing of when you sell. Obviously, in ultra low, cheap interest rates a few years ago, businesses were getting crazy valuations. Things have tightened up now because cash is more expensive and a potential buyer can get 4, 5, 6% in the bank risk-free. So you need to be able to prove to them that your business is going to return more cash than they can get into the bank. So you need to make your cash flows as risk-free as possible whilst returning more than what a bank can give them. All right, I'll run you through the valuation numbers in a template shortly, but I just wanted to talk you through thinking like a buyer for a second. So you're obviously running your business, you're deep in the game, you're in the trenches with it, so you're very emotionally attached. But put yourself on the other side of the fence of a potential buyer who comes along, is looking at a range of businesses to buy, and they're trying to work out which one's a good investment for their money. So the potential reasons someone might want to buy you, and you can start reverse engineering and building those things in now. So when it comes to exiting, you get a better number. Highly skilled team. The client last year exit, they had a really great result. A big part of it was they had a really highly skilled team that were loyal, that did great work, that were efficient. It was part of why they were bought. Another one is a customer list. Maybe you serve a market that a buyer doesn't and they want to get into that market, so you've got unique customers. A strong brand, which everyone is trying to build, like Trimline, for example, that has some value in the market that customers recognize. You might have a strategic value like geography, technology, or other synergies, depending on how technical your business is. Revenue and cash flows, that's obviously the number one. People want a return on their investment, so that's part of it, of course, and so that will come into your valuation, but it's not always all of it. It's a very important part, but it's not all of it. And maybe you've got some secret sauce in your systems and processes that people really want access to. So those are some key areas. All right, I just want to talk you through now building that value into your business. How you're going to reverse engineer a better number in 3 to 5 years' time. Here are some things you can work on right now. You can continue to build a strong brand. You can make sure you're playing in the right space in a growing market. For example, AI businesses, obviously everyone wants to be involved in it. That's a growing market. The valuations are going to be higher. Maybe you've got a scalable product, or maybe you've got a productized service that is easier to scale. You want a diverse customer base. So if one customer leaves, it doesn't ruin your business. Some other classics that a successful business should have: an effective leadership team. Maybe you've got incentives to keep them around post you exiting. Strong financial performance, as I mentioned. I'll talk you through multiples in a sec. You've got some IP, you got the systems, and a big one is low owner involvement. A big part of this journey through to an established business is for the owner to build themselves out of all those key roles, and I'll do another video on that. So those are some of the key things you can start to build into your business now. And in terms of the multiples, as I mentioned at the start, it's only worth what someone is willing to pay at a point in time. So people might adjust that multiple up or down, depending on how risky your business appears to them. It's not always based on hard truths. You can't just compare a neighboring business and say they got X, therefore we should get X. There's so much detail that goes into it that multiple will shift depending on the deal. So don't get obsessed with, this is the multiple for my business, therefore that's what it's worth. There's so many other factors that go into it during due diligence. And if you can't prove the story about the future of your business to this potential buyer, that multiple will go down, regardless of what your industry is. So don't get too obsessed on it, but obviously it's a guide to start those conversations. So financial performance is a big one, and not just your historical financials, which is obviously one aspect that they will look at, because obviously if you're a growing business, you want to be also talking about the future growth story, which is going to help increase your EBITDA number that they're using to build this valuation on. So the past performance is great. It helps you prove that you can consistently hit a certain EBITDA or net profit number, but also you need to have a convincing story for the future of your business. What's that model look like? What's that forecast look like? Do you have customer contracts in place to prove that that revenue is contracted? Do you have recurring revenue that is insanely more valuable to people rather than just one-off project work kind of revenue? So you need to be able to prove every dollar that you're going to earn into the future, and you will get a better multiple. So simple arithmetic, for example, the top one, your EBITDA times the multiple. As I said, the higher risk of you not returning cash, the lower multiple you get, and then adding any unique value or synergies that you build into it. So those are those other factors, those X factors that will increase your price. And the EBITDA times 2 plus the 50K of any additional gives you that 250. And you can see as the bigger your net profit is sitting here, the more guaranteed that money is going to continue to roll in each year, the much higher multiple you'll get, because you're providing that buyer with less risky future cash flows. And that's what everyone wants. All right, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Hopefully this gave you some ideas about what you can start building into your business. Obviously you want rock solid financials. You want clean data to show them, but you also need that future story of where the business is going to grow to and how the new buyer is going to see some return. All right, thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Cheers.